Hi, I'm Sunil, and in this episode of Systematic Property, we'll look at the most important factor for long-term success in real estate. Now, you've bought a property and you're waiting for the price to go up. And that, my friends, is the best way of making money in real estate. We just don't know when that's going to happen. We can't time the market perfectly. If you're asking me right now, in the market where I'm in Dubai, I think we're close to the bottom, but nobody knows. Maybe a year from now, we might say, you know what, we were nowhere near close to the bottom. Or we could say we were close to the bottom and the market's turned. So we have to wait. And to be able to wait out your investments and to ride the storm of the investments, you have to rent your properties out. And what I've seen is one of the most important factors of investing is tenant selection. When you're choosing your tenants, because if you choose your tenants incorrectly, you're going to have a bit of a nightmare. You might have a problem. Am I saying that there are some good tenants and there are bad tenants? Absolutely. People are very different from all over the world. And so choosing good tenants means that you have less problems and you have less things to worry about. It's little things, like when something breaks in the property, which always happens. A bad tenant might actually call you up and complain and complain and complain, and eventually you go there and you know what, it was a simple thing that could have been fixed. A good tenant would say, you know what, let me do it for you, I'll call somebody out, I'll manage it, and then I'll send you the bill or we'll adjust the rent next month. I like that. That's really, really good. So how do you find a good tenant that's going to kind of like give you an easier ride on your property investor journey? Well, the main way is eyeballing the tenant. I found that the best way to find good tenants was to look them in the eye and actually sum them up and kind of like use my gut feel to figure out if they were good or not. How did I get that gut feel? I made a lot of mistakes beforehand. So I went through a whole period where I made mistakes, chose bad tenants, and then I learned my lesson. I think a lot of new investors make the mistake of taking the first tenant they get because they're very anxious to rent their property out and therefore not have to pay the mortgage or expenses from their pocket. They need that income coming in. But hold on, you got to find a good tenant. How do you find a good tenant? I think, again, it's just meeting that person, seeing them. And what if you have an estate agent doing that for you? Well, hopefully you've got an experienced estate agent who can take some reference checks. And I'll be honest with you, when I first took my tenants on, I never took reference checks. I just wanted to see them, and probably the most important thing was actually look in their car. If I could actually take a sneak peek of what their car was like, I think I would get a very good idea of what my property was going to be like. Dirty, messy car, you can be pretty sure it's going to be a dirty, messy property. So I used to eyeball people. I never used to take references. I used to have quite a trusting nature. And I always give tenants the benefit of the doubt. To such an extent that I don't call tenants tenants. I call tenants clients. Because I'm in the business of real estate. I'm a supplier of housing. And so my client is a tenant, is someone who rents the property from me. I treat them well. I give them good service. And I take care of them, and guess what? They take care of my asset, which I want to go up in value over time. And the person who's there obviously is the tenant, so he can really be sure of that. So find good tenants, take care in how you choose your tenants, don't rush into the first person, and they will take care of your property, and it's going to go up in value over time, and that's how you make money. Thanks for watching. I'm Sunil.